Hello, my beautiful people. How are you all doing? I hope that you are all doing well. I know we're going through some heavy shifts and changes. A lot of us are being faced with a lot of things from our past that is coming up to the surface. And again, a lot of this stuff is happening because we're trying to start this new cycle. And in order to start this new cycle, we need to release the old cycle. And the old cycle consists of patterns and behaviors and things that we have done or functioned as, or decisions and choices that we made that no longer serve us at this point. And we need to release it. And that's why it's coming up as strongly as it is for so many people. Because this is what the theme has been for a lot of my clients in the past couple of days. Have been overwhelmed emotions, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, loneliness, a lot of missing certain aspects of our lives from the past that we thought made us feel good at the time. And it's okay to look back at memories and things that made us feel good, because it does put us into a more balanced vibration, heart-centered. You want to be heart-centered to deal with a lot of this stuff. You know, but what I'm finding is so many people, I feel like it's almost like a dark night of the soul with a lot of people as of late. I'd say with the last 2 weeks, who are coming in very, very out of sort, distorted, confused, angry, sad. And again, that's okay. We have to just allow ourselves to feel all those emotions as they come up, and acknowledge them as they come up, so that we can start that healing process of releasing them. They're coming up for a reason. It's almost like we are grieving the older version of ourselves, that version of ourselves that we were so used to being, who we've been for so long. So when change happens, or when change is forced to happen, in of course in like tower moments and dark night of the soul moments, it's the universe is coming in and just saying, we need to end this stuff, because it really isn't serving you anymore. And it's time to take all of those experiences that you've gone through in the past and start to release them. Start to recognize these things as they come up. Start to recognize them for what they are. What is it that's being shown to us? What is being told to us? What are we supposed to be doing at this point? We need to identify all of this stuff as it starts to surface. And it's so important at this time to really, really be as gentle as we can with ourselves. Not to be angry at ourselves. Don't beat yourself up for any choices or decisions you've made in the past. It's really a time of just healing and releasing and clearing old patterns of behavior. And I know we've talked about this many times before, but a lot of the stuff that we carry within ourselves are carried down from generation to generation, also from ancestors. So we can inherit a lot of our ancestral negative traits, addictions, ways of being and doing that was just carried down, again, from generation to generation. And it becomes embedded in our cell memory, and it becomes part of us, even though it's not us. And it's because it was carried down for so long and shown over and over and over and replayed over and over and over and acted out over and over and over, that it ended up becoming part of who we are, or who we thought we were, is more like it. It really wasn't us. And when we get into this place of questioning all that, it's because the universe wants us to recognize that it's not us. You know, it's just stuff that we're carrying down. And at the same time that we can inherit a lot of our ancestral negative traits, we can also inherit a lot of our ancestral positive traits. So gifts, you know, psychic abilities, healing, you know, healing energies, positive things, leadership roles, positive things. And those are the things that you want to keep. Those are the things you want to hold on to. That negative stuff, we just want to recognize it and release it. And that's what's happening now. You know, like I said, a lot of people are coming to me very upset, very confused, very frustrated, coming in all out of sorts and feeling like everything is going wrong in their lives. All of this negative stuff is just coming at them full force, and it is really disrupting their daily lives, their mental state, their emotional state, their physical state. And I know, as difficult as it's feeling, know that it's coming up because we really need to recognize the things as they come up. You know, if it's a lot of low vibrational energy, and we're in this low vibrational energy, we're going to keep getting hit with all the lower vibrational energy, negative people. So if, for instance, all these people are coming out of nowhere and they're attacking you personally, you know, criticizing you, making you feel terrible, for one, it's more that they are projecting their own stuff onto you. Because as you are going through this clearing and releasing up old cycles, so are they. But you know, a lot of people who aren't aware of that will just stay in that negative place, and they start attacking, you know, a loved one, calling them names and making them feel small and unworthy and not enough. And the thing is, if we take that energy that's coming at us and making us feel that way, we really need to recognize that and look at it for what is for the truth of what is going on. It's the universe is trying to get us to notice, to stand up and take notice of the things that we need to heal within ourselves. So if someone is coming at you, and this is what's happening with a lot of people now, again, because old ways are trying to be cleared for the new ways. But you have to be awakened enough or aware enough to understand that's what's happening. Because if we don't, what can happen in place of that is we're getting attacked with all of this negative energy. Now it's bringing us into this low place. And what's happening, we're attracting more of it, and more of it, and more of it. So what we need to do first is to recognize, and instead of like blaming ourselves or thinking that we're not good enough, we really need to look at what is really going on. Especially if it's repeating itself, okay? So let's say one person is coming at you and calling you all kinds of names. You take that personally, you make it yours. And then all of a sudden you walk out the door and here comes another person to come and attacking you again, and making you feel like you're not good enough, or whatever the case may be, attacking your who you are as a person. Because we already got brought down into that low vibration by that attack, that initial attack, and we took that and made it ours. And in other words, when I say made it ours, kind of like, okay, well, this person is telling me I'm not good enough. They're complaining. They're saying that I'm doing everything all wrong. What's wrong with me? You know, you're stupid. Whatever the case may be. Instead of looking at it as, and I know this is easier said than done, but instead of looking at it as, you know, it really has nothing to do with you. It's their own stuff that they're projecting onto you, because again, they're going through their own stuff as well through this time and this cycle and these changes. But if we're taking it personally and starting to feel like, yeah, maybe I am stupid, maybe I am all this, maybe I am not good enough, maybe, you know, no matter what I do, it's not going to be right. Instead of looking at it that way, look at it as, okay, first of all, they're projecting onto me their own stuff, okay? Second, if it's affecting you to that extent, that means you need to take a further look into what is going on with you. Why do you feel like you're not enough? Why are you taking that attack and really making it you and who you are? You know, letting it define who you are. Because I'm telling you, if you keep that low vibration and you start to feel like you aren't enough and there's something wrong with you, that you're stupid or whatever the case may be, you're holding on to that energy. So that frequency, that energy, and what happens is now you go outside and here comes another person that starts picking on you and starts putting it down and making you feel worse, right? And it's because you already feel that way about yourself. Those triggers triggered that healing that you needed to do within yourself. What you really need to do is look at it, recognize it, see where it's coming from, and acknowledge it. That, why do I feel this way? I shouldn't feel this way because I am a good person and I deserve a whole lot better, and there's nothing wrong with me. Again, all of these things are coming at us at the speed that they're coming at us, which is so overwhelming for so many of us but we need to stand up and above it, because if we take it on and we don't acknowledge it for what it really is and what it's trying to teach us about ourselves that we need to heal within ourselves, we're going to just stay at that frequency and we're going to just keep attracting the same type of situation and get beat up, and then we're in a low vibration, low frequency. More negative things are happening, and more negative things are happening, and more negative things are happening. It's just like becoming ridiculously overwhelming to the point where we're ready to snap. We're ready to just break. It's kind of like the universe is really trying to shake us up and clear all of that stuff for us. But we have to take notice of what's going on and understand where it's coming from and acknowledge it and allow ourselves to feel it. And then we need to take it and make it a strength within ourselves, and start that healing of that situation. You know, why that situation is coming up the way that it's coming up. And I know this is all confusing and overwhelming and exhausting as hell. It really is exhausting as hell. But you know, energy is energy. And it all goes by frequency. If we're in a low frequency, we're going to attract a low frequency. If we're in a higher frequency, we're going to block that low frequency. So if we're standing in our power and we know that we are enough and that we know we deserve more and better than what is coming at us, that stuff will either go away. Those people will go away. Because how can they attack you and get through to you if you are at this frequency or this energy level, high vibration, that you feel good about who you are? There's nothing that they can do or say that is going to affect you, because you know differently. You know that you are not all of those things that they're saying. You are better than that. You deserve better than that. You are enough. So really what it comes down to is you have to be strong within yourself. You have to love yourself more. And that stuff will just kind of go away, like I said. And a lot of times, if you are strong and you're in your power, and you love yourself enough, you're not even going to attract that, right? You're not going to attract it. You're going to attract more of the same frequency. The more empowered, the more positive frequency, because you're at that frequency of feeling really good about who you are. So if people start coming at you with all of this stuff and it brings you into this low vibration, no, it's coming at you because you need to heal something within yourself. You need to look at why that stuff is affecting you so that you can start to acknowledge it, release it, and heal it, right? So just give yourself some TLC. You know, be gentle with yourself. Try to stay as grounded as possible. Go for walks. Give yourself nice sea salt or Epsom salt baths, with lavender essential oils. You know, change your environment. Go to places that are more positive. So that you don't absorb all of this low vibrational stuff. So, let's see. What does Spirit have to say? What does Spirit have to say? What is the message that Spirit has to say? And I've been feeling it too. Like, the energy is really heavy. A lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of frustrations. I'm feeling a lot coming from the collective, which is triggering things within myself as well. But the difference is I recognize what it is and where it's coming from, and acknowledging it and trying to release it. And it's been hard to do in some cases, you know, especially if it's really a hard lesson that needed to be learned. Because all of this really is about honoring ourselves, recognizing these things that are being shown to us, that are there to teach us more about what's going on with us, so that we can change those patterns of behavior. So although it's coming hard and strong and fast, you know you can shift it by acknowledging it, healing it, and raising your vibration. So doing things that make you feel better, things that make you feel good. You know, play some music, go for a walk, take a bath, meditate, stay. It's so important at this time because there's so many heavy energies out there and so many people going through a lot of emotional upheavaling, to try to be alone as much as you can with yourself, so that you can start to identify your energy. When we're around all of that stuff and those people, and especially as an empath and people who are very sensitive, we can take all that energy on that's going on around us and make it our own, you know, which then creates so much more frustration and negativity and overwhelming feelings. But when we're alone, you know, I'm not saying be alone all the time, you know, get out there if you want to get out there. And it probably would do you good to get out there. But if you feel like you're going through some kind of energetic shift, a very overwhelming shift in your energy, in your perception, in the way that you see things and feel about things, this is a time to really just be by ourselves and kind of reflect on our own energy. Identify our own energy. By being alone in our energy is going to help you to know your energy from someone else's energy and not take it on. And you can get yourself into a place of being balanced and grounded enough and look at all of these things as they appear in your consciousness and your awareness. And when you go step outside and you're around, you know, environment of, you know, all these people and their energies, you'll be grounded within yourself and know what your energy feels like, to know when it comes at you that it's not your energy, which is going to help you to keep it away from you, you know. And the more that you keep your frequency and vibration high, the harder it is for that energy to come in and bring you down. All right. But if it really comes at you and keeps coming at you, and it is really shaking you up and bringing up all of these emotional things, it's because there's something really that you need to look at from that experience that needs to be healed within yourself. So it's really important for you to be as honest with yourself as possible with the things that are going on with you. You know, in some cases, and what I'm finding also, and I might have mentioned this earlier, you know, we're feeling this loss, confusion, frustration, sadness, loneliness. Also, I feel because it's kind of like we're mourning, we're grieving. We're grieving that old self, the old person, that person that we're so used to being. And it's hard. It's hard to make changes sometimes. It really is. But it's so necessary and so important for us to change so that we can continue to grow. But it is kind of like a grieving period that we're going through. It's like we're shedding an old self, an old way of believing. And that's a good thing, because that means you're aware enough to know that. And when you could recognize it for what it truly is, you're going to be able to get through it a lot better, you know? So allow yourself to grieve. It's okay. That's where time alone is important. A time out in nature is important. Going for a walk, you know, taking a bath, meditating. All of that stuff will help you to connect with that stuff and to heal it and to mourn and grieve that part of us so that we can peacefully release it and keep moving forward, right? It's a lot of information, right? I promise this is not going to be a long video, so I'm just going to pull 2 cards and then we're going to end this video. But I guess what I wanted to come on was for you to just understand that all of these changes that you're going through are really important. They're all important and necessary for this new cycle, for you to step into this better version of yourself. Because we don't want to take the old version of ourselves into this new into this new place, into this new cycle. We want to create a better version. We want to release all of that stuff that held us back, all of that stuff that served whatever purpose it needed to serve, whatever lesson we needed to learn from it. But we want to leave it there. We don't want to take it with us. We want to leave it there. These cards are flying all over the place. Let's see what popped out. 1 second. Oh, goodness gracious. Oof. A couple of cards wanted to come out. My goodness, I don't know if we're going to do all of these. Which one is the one that we really want? I think we're going to do this one. I'm drawn to from Spirit is the Healing Light. The Healing Light. Isn't that a gorgeous picture? To me, that represents a lot of what we're going through now. You know, trying to heal old cycles, old ways of being, and knowing that there's light, there's spirit, there's our guides and angels, all there working with us to help us to get through this. So we're not alone in this process. And there's so many of us going through a lot of this stuff as well. So, you know that you're not alone. And you can always call on loved ones to help you. So let's see, the Healing Light. Let's see, what do they want to tell us? Let's see. Healing Light 8. Okay, so Spirit. That's from Spirit. Sorry. Give me a minute. Give me a minute to find the page. Alright. So, this is the Healing Light. Miraculous change. A beautiful spirit holds a brilliant sphere of healing light. A gentle yet powerful radiance reaches outward from the orb into your own heart. A time of great personal blessings is in store for you. Loving spirits are ready to bring their healing energy to you at this time. If you have a physical condition that you seek to remedy, meditate on the part of the body involved and allow spirit to bring divine light there. You can use all the tools at your disposal, traditional and metaphysical, to generate the healing that you long for. So be conscious and intuitive in all your self-healing. If it's a mental or emotional issue you're dealing with, call for the angels to fill your mind and heart with their healing love. Even relationships can benefit from the incredible power of divine love. Meditate on the light within and around you. Ask for guidance and healing and let yourself be willing to receive. This upright card brings a message of potential miracles in your life. Connect with the loving healers in the spirit and angelic world. And don't forget the unlimited blessings that come from the ever-present energy of the divine. How beautiful is that? So there, just know that you're not alone in this process. There's so much help out there. You know, you have your divine angels, guides, all there wanting to work with you and help you. So call on them if you're really feeling so heavy in this heavy emotional stuff that you're going through. Because like I said, it's just us grieving an old part of who we were. You know, if you can look at it that way, maybe it'll be a little bit easier for you to understand why it feels so intense. Because it really does feel it kind of does feel like a death to a certain extent, right? And it is a death. It's a shedding of an old way of being, you know? That's the whole purpose of this journey, is to go through things in our lives, learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn, and then release it. Move forward from those lessons and those experiences that we went through. We're not supposed to stay in it, and we're definitely not supposed to let it define who we are. We need to just allow ourselves to learn whatever it is we need to learn and not repeat it. That's the hard part, right? That's the challenge, repeating. So that's the part that we have to really try to recognize. If it keeps repeating itself, it's something we really need to look at. Why it's happening, you know, what's going on, why is this happening? So I'm going to just do one healing message, whispers of healing, and see what Spirit has to say for us. What's the healing message that Spirit has for us today? You know what's important too is to notice a lot of our behaviors and patterns. And like I said earlier, it's really carried down from generation to generation. It's our limited beliefs. It's our limited beliefs. And those limited beliefs are carried down from generation to generation, right? Limited beliefs, that's the perception of how we see ourselves, you know, how we see the world. And those perceptions are usually formed by experiences or carried down by family member and ancestors, you know. They're limited beliefs that were just carried down to us. And we stop ourselves from moving forward. So a lot of this limited beliefs are really created and formed when we're young, you know, by the things that we're told, by the things that we're shown, you know. It's getting to the point of recognizing that they are limited beliefs and they're not real, right? So the card that popped out, my lovely people, are, oh, this is such a pretty card. Look at that. We were talking about how we need to go through this stuff in order to grow, right? Here's Spirit making it clear and validating it. Growth. Right? So let's get into more depth here of what this means. But basically, it's, you know, it's, if you look at the picture, it really is about growth. All of the things that we've gone through in our lives, things that were carried down, you know, from generation to generation, all of the lessons and the experiences that we've gone through in our lifetime, that is what is helping us to grow and move forward, right? Those lessons is what's supposed to teach us how to grow, you know, how to continue to grow. So growth. You are never done with your spiritual growth. It is a lifelong process. There will always be something new to become skilled at and ways to enhance your energy. Make your spiritual growth a priority. Set goals to further your knowledge and plan how you are going to achieve this. Share what you have learned with others. You can do this by blogging or by modeling the lessons you are learning. Practice visualizing and believing in your inner senses. Start your growth process by taking a deep look within yourself. See yourself surrounded with the white light of your personal power. Hold this vision in your mind and increase your power by seeing your light expanding and emanating from you. Devote yourself to your own growth. Know what makes you feel happy, content, and in charge in your life. The light of the moon surrounds a fairy as well as the stars and the butterflies that trail from her legs. Stars represent luck, hope, renewal, and good health. The butterflies remind you that growth and change can happen in a joyful manner. The full moon indicates a time of reflection. Shine a light on what you are attracted to. You are definitely in a time of change and growth. Exactly. This is what this whole process is. This is what this is all about. And why we're feeling so confused and so frustrated and so emotional and lonely and sad. Because again, this is a time of growing. Spiritual growth, spiritual awakening is all connected to us. Spirituality is connected to who we are, right? In our who we've become through our experiences and our lessons that we've learned, you know, who we are trying to become. You know, we don't want to stay stuck in an old version of ourselves. That's what the growth is all about. It's about taking those experiences and those lessons that we've gone through and allowing them to help us to grow as individuals, you know, and continue to create this better version of who you are. So it feels so confusing and lonely and so much anxiety and overwhelming energy right now, because the change, this is a major change. This is a major transformation that a lot of us are going through. And this is scary because it's the new cycle that's trying to be created. So all of that old stuff that we got very comfortable in being, those patterns that we continue to create over and over and over, all of those thoughts and limited beliefs and all of those things are coming to a change. They're coming to a halt. They're getting ready to change. They're getting ready to change, but only you can be the person. You have free will on whether or not you want to make those changes and get out of that old energy and start fresh in this new energy, or stay stuck in that energy. And I feel like sometimes the conflict comes from that. You know, it's like I'm so comfortable in my own ways of being that it's scary as hell to make this change. I don't know what to expect from it, but that's okay. We don't have to know, right? Because it's just experiences that we're continuing to learn, right? Things that we're going through. We can create whatever it is that we want by taking all of those other lessons and experiences and the things that no longer serve us. We can now shift it into things that will serve us, things that are going to make us better. That's what those experiences are. That's what those lessons are, to show us what we need to shift within ourselves. So it's going to feel like a death. it's going to feel so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. We have to sometimes get to a place of being uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is what is going to catapult us forward, right? We have to be uncomfortable to a certain extent, because when we're comfortable, we're not really moving then, right? We're not really growing. So we need to be uncomfortable when it comes to new changes, because that means we're shifting, we're changing, we're growing, which is a good thing. And yes, we're going to get to this place where we feel like it's scary, it's overwhelming, because again, it is a death of an old way of being. And that in itself is scary as hell, because that, we know what it feels like. The new, we have no idea what to expect, right? So that's scary. But instead of making it or looking at it as being scary, look at it as being exciting. You know, it's like exciting. Let's take what we learned now and apply it to what we're going to be doing or what we want in our future, right? The lessons that we learned, the things that we went through, we can see it for what it is. And now we can take the hard lessons and make them our strengths to create this new version, this new cycle that we want to be in. So yeah, it's scary not knowing. The unknown is scary as hell, but it's also exciting. It's also exciting. So don't fear it. And again, what you're going through, most people are going through at this time. Again, it's a shedding of an old self. Shedding of an old self is scary as hell. It is. It's scary as hell. So it's okay. Just be gentle with yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's perfectly fine. So one more affirmation and then we are finished for the day. Let's see. What is our affirmation for the day? Yes. I'm trying to see what song comes up today. Because you know, songs always come through for me. I'm so connected to music. Music helps me stay balanced. It really does. But I have to say, you know, and most people are feeling this, the energy's been so heavy and I've been exhausted. I've been so freaking exhausted. And so many other people have been going through the same exact thing. They're very, very tired, very tired. And again, it's because we're getting ready to shed. We need to get all the rest we can, because we're getting ready to become a new version of us. I am strong, I am tough, I am resilient, I am optimistic, I am noble, I am great. And there you have it, beautiful people. Have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Have an awesome, awesome day.